This lesson is on 6.3, which is solving proportions using cross products. So just like the last section, we talked about proportions and how to solve them. Now we're going to use a new technique and new method of solving it called the cross product. So a cross product of two ratios is the product of the numerator of one ratio and the denominator of the other ratio. So for example, if you had 2/5 equals, let's do 4/10, the cross product says we can cross multiply these. So 2 times 10 equals 5 times 4. And if we weren't sure if this was true, we would then solve it. So we get 20 equals 20. So these are similar fractions, or they're ratios that are equivalent. So here, determine if the ratios form a proportion. So if we have 4/26 and 8/42, we want to figure out, are these ratios equal to one another to form a proportion? Would it be true to set them equal to each other? So we want to know, do they equal each other? And then we're going to do the cross product to find out. So we have 4 times 42 equals 8 times 26. We're not sure if this is true. So then we multiply it out. We get 168 equals 208, which is not true. So these two ratios do not form a proportion. So what I'd like you to do is try the following two to figure out if they would form a proportion. If they are equally to each other in the end, then yes, they do form a proportion. If they're not equal to, then no, they do not. So press pause and give it a try. So the cross product property, the cross products of a proportion are equal given that 2/5 equals 6/15. So you know that 2 times 15 equals 5 times 6. So this just goes over what the actual property tells you. So for example, if we have A/B equals C/D, then that means A times D equals C times B, as long as B and D are not equal to 0. So let's try writing and solving a proportion. So if you earned $68 by mowing 4 lawns, how much would you earn if you mowed 7 lawns? So on the top, let's put the money earned, and on the bottom of the fractions, we'll put the lawns mowed. So we have 68 divided by 4 lawns equals, we don't know how much we want to earn, so we put an X there, divided by 7, because that's the number of lawns mowed. We can then cross multiply and get 68 times 7 equals 4X. We can then say 476 each for X and divide each side by 4 to get X alone, and then simplify it. So we can get X equals 119. So you would have earned $119 for mowing 7 lawns. So go ahead and try the following two problems to see what you'd get for X. So in the first, solve for X. In the second, this is actually a B. I'm going to fix it so it's a little more clear. It's kind of looking like a 6. So solve for B. Press pause now and give it a try. And those are the only two examples for this section of the chapter. So that's all for today.